Oh, that's not what I was even looking. Peace, y'all. Peace, love, and positive vibes to you and yours. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with this stream? Get your stream together. Some of my streams are having connection issues. I don't know who it is though. So if you're out there with a connection issue, it looks like everybody's online to me. Anyways, peace, y'all. Peace, love, and positive vibes to you and yours. Welcome to another episode of Monotfahme Monday. Monotfahme on Monday, Monotfahme Monday. It is episode 20. Yay! Cheer, all the little noises, sound effects, types of stuff. Anyways, it's great to have y'all here. Peace to everyone out there in the internets. So today I wanted to talk about choices and how our choices affect our life. So a lot of people don't like to hear things like it's your fault. Like that's something that is very difficult, I think, for people to take that type of criticism. But we're healing around here. So sometimes we have to take that shit. Like, sometimes it might upset you. It's okay if someone says, you know what, but it's your fault that something happened in your own life. Because, for example, let me find an example. Let's pop up an example real quick. Let's say that your friend asked you to help them do something, right? And you didn't really want to help them. Maybe you wanted to take the day for yourself, or you had something else going on. It was a really busy day, so it was going to be difficult to fit in helping them. But for whatever reason, let's just say that you didn't want to help them and you did it anyways, right? So then you're like mad and irritated that you helped them, because then when you asked them to help you, they said they couldn't because they were busy. And now you're mad because they didn't help you because they were busy, but you went out of your way to help them even though you were busy. And to that, I would say, that's your fault. And I know, like, some people will be like, no, it's not. Like, they should have helped me because what? They literally told you they couldn't help you because they were busy. They chose to take care of their own things and protect their own time, their own peace, whatever it may be, and looked out for themselves in that aspect. They didn't think about how you may have been busy that day and helped them anyway. They're thinking about their own day. So the fact that you are upset about them not helping you, even though you helped them, is your fault. It was your choice. You made a choice to help them. And that choice should have been just because you wanted to help them, not because you felt like you had to. And if it was something that you felt was a difficulty and you were not able to make it happen, or it was going to cause too much stress in your life, then it was your responsibility to communicate that, and let that be known. So just because you decided to go out of your way and help a friend, even though you were busy already, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to do that back. A lot of our heartache and frustration with people, and even disagreements, come from the fact that we sacrifice so much of ourselves for somebody else, and then we expect that those people are going to sacrifice themselves for us in the same manner. We anticipate other people to be us. And you can't expect you from another person. They are themselves. They are always going to be themselves. And how they react is not going to necessarily be how you would react in a situation. Having somebody tell you that something is your fault can be very frustrating, but a lot of our issues in our lives stem from our own choices that we make. We choose to allow things to happen in our lives. We choose to allow people to treat us the way that they treat us. We teach people that type of stuff. When someone says that you teach people how to treat you, you really do, because first of all, how do you treat yourself? And a lot of that comes from keeping boundaries and staying true to yourself in many ways. And when we aren't true to ourselves, then we get upset, because look at the scenario that I just talked about. The reason that person was really upset was because they wanted someone else to sacrifice the way that they sacrificed, and they weren't true to themselves because they didn't really want to help, because it was going to be a strain on them, but they chose to do it anyways. You can't anticipate that another person is going to be that way. So really the reason they were upset was because they weren't true to themselves. If they had stayed true to their own self and what will work best for them, and then they wouldn't probably have helped that person. But in the long run, they wouldn't have had that feeling of like animosity, I guess. Sadly, that feeling of animosity is unwarranted, because the person who chose to make that decision, it can only be mad at themselves for making a decision like that. When we see an outcome from something, and there's been a decision made by you, you have to understand that a lot of the outcome is going to be your responsibility. Obviously, there's different variables and scenarios where there may be other people involved in the situation to an extent that some of what they do also will determine how things work out. But when we're talking about how you decide things and choices that you make in your life for yourself, that's the type of outcomes that will be things that are direct effect from your decision and your choices that you made. So in order to not have these feelings of animosity towards other people because of decisions that you've made, it's important to be true to yourself. Do you really want to do the things that you're doing? And what is going to be the outcome, or what could be the outcome? What could be the effect? Are you ready for what kind of effect it could have on your life? And are you willing to take responsibility for that? People a lot of times who aren't who aren't really self-aware will have a tendency to like blame other people. And this might be you. Like, yo, if this is you, that's okay, because it's a growth process. Like, don't be hard on yourself, but recognize it about yourself and realize that it's something that is coming up right now in front of you, because it's something that is ready to be worked on. And if it's ready to be worked on, this is a perfect time to take the effort and initiative to do that. If you are the type of person that blames other people a lot when things go wrong, like if you get upset at someone, or if you're having a bad day, or if something, just things are always somebody else's fault. It doesn't matter. It's always, you got mad because this person did that. Well, you said this because they did that. And So on and so forth. We can think of 1,000, I'm sure, examples. Blaming other people when you are the person that's in control of things is not gonna work. It's your fault. Like, if you get angry at somebody because of something that they did, you're choosing to get angry at that person. Like, you're choosing your actions. It's not always easy, man. I'm telling you guys from my own personal experience, it's not always easy. I have my own things that I definitely am working on and I'm healing from, and things that I'm growing in. We all have our own challenges. Um, if somebody out there that listens to my show has mastered um, having a short fuse and quick to be angry about stupid shit, please, by all means, help me. Because I need to master that in my own life. That's something that I'm working on personally. So when I'm up here, it's not because I have everything together and I'm like the most healed guru spiritual person in the whole world. No, I'm healing too. We're healing together. But the things that I do talk about are things that I have experienced, maybe things that I have been through in my own life, or things that I have healed from or am healing from, and maybe have come to some understanding of. So I'm just trying to help people who can be helped from that. And I hope that I do help somebody. If I even just help one person, then I feel like I've done my job. So it's time to stop blaming other people, though, and start looking at self. Um, a lot of the things that I talk about, I guess it's crazy how much they really work together in tandem. Well, not even tandem, but together as a collaborative group of things. Like, they're like skills that when you put them all together, you can handle pretty much most situations, anyways. Um, Blaming other people is something that's really difficult. It can be challenging to stop doing. And it may be a lifelong process for you, and if it is, that's okay. This is a journey, and just be patient with yourself and just continue to be diligent in your process, and you'll notice a change. You will notice that you're growing and you're getting better at these types of things. So you can do it. We can all be our best versions of us every day. So if you're the type of person that blames other people, it might be hard for you to hear that something is your fault, or that it's not everybody else's fault that you get upset about things. It's not everybody else's fault that things annoy you. It's not everybody else's fault um, that you procrastinated and didn't get something done in time, or that you were late somewhere. It's not because everybody in traffic was slow that you were late. It's because you didn't leave early enough and give yourself enough time to get there. Maybe you didn't prepare early enough in the day, so you left late. That's not anyone else's fault but yours. When we start to become more self aware, it's easier, and it gets easier in time to take responsibility for when you messed up. And it's something really crazy. Real quick, a side note that I noticed um, with people recently in my life, because I'm communicating more, and hopefully I'm getting better at my communicating skills. But like, it's people, it's hard to it's hard to hear when something is our own fault. It can be difficult, and it can be difficult to apologize. And something else that I've noticed is it's also difficult for other people to hear you apologize and take responsibility. A lot of times I have had people, when I apologize, like, you know what, I'm sorry, it was my fault. And I tell them why it's my fault. Like, first of all, I shouldn't have even put myself in that situation, because I Like, for example, I had something recently happen to me where I went back on I went back on something that I had told myself that I was gonna do. And because I did that, I saw why. And I was reminded as to why I had made that pact with myself. And I was like, you know what? This is my fault. It's my fault because I wasn't true to myself. I didn't uphold that boundary. I didn't uphold that pact that I made with myself. So because I didn't do that, there was a consequence to that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and I suffered that consequence. And it's okay because that is a lesson, and it was a lesson learned that I need to stay true to myself. When I say I'm going to do something for myself, I have to stay true to myself in that aspect. That's a boundary, and that's a form of self-love. And when we do that, we are teaching ourselves how to love ourselves more. We're teaching the people around us how to treat us, and that we're serious about ourselves. You know what I mean? So they don't feel like they can just play with us in any kind of way. Um, that works in all aspects of your life. That works in friendships, that works in intimate relationships, that works in business relationships. Staying true to yourself and making sure that you show people um, that you are serious about, like, you mean something to yourself. You do love yourself. So if somebody wants to do business with you, they have to understand that you're not gonna take certain types of things. You expect to be respected, and you do that by showing your professionalism. You do that by showing how you how you anticipate to be treated. When we say, like, treat others how you want to be treated, just because you treat others how you want to be treated, you do that as an example, I guess, to show others, like, this is how I would want to be treated, and out of just respect for other human beings. But just because you show other people how you want to be treated and treat them how you want to be treated doesn't mean that they will reciprocate that. It's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to accept that. Because here's another example of how something could be your fault. If somebody is in your life and they continuously disrespect you, and you have told them time and time again, this is disrespectful, I do not accept this, I don't like this type of behavior, I don't like being talked to like that, I don't like, late emails, emails left unset, whatever. There's different variations for different type of relationships. um, if you have expressed these things to a person and they continuously do it anyways, are you not making a choice to continue that relationship with that person? Are you not continue? Are you not making a choice to continue to allow that in your life and to receive that? It's a choice. So the only person that you can really be mad at is self, because you are allowing that to continue in your life. We all know that there's extreme cases of things that happen in people's lives where it's not always easy to just walk away. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying like there's some magical thing that, like, oh, all of a sudden you're just have the strength to just get up and walk away from things. No, that's not what I'm saying. But just know that you are making a choice when you allow it to continue in your life, and that you can make a choice to start moving in the direction of making those changes in whatever instance that is. If you're in a situation where you're in a dangerous relationship and you're being abused, you have to start loving yourself more than you love that person. And unfortunately, when you continue to take that abuse, you are showing that person more love than you're showing yourself, and you're showing that person more love than you deserve to show them, than they deserve. I'm sorry, than they deserve to be shown. And I'm no way, shape, or form condoning that behavior or blaming the person who's being abused for that behavior. That person is making a choice for their behavior. That's their fault in in the situation is the choices that they are making. That's their fault. You have to, even if you can't go right now, that's understandable. Like, I've been in those types of situations, so I absolutely 100% can speak from experience that I do understand that sometimes it's not that easy, but you have to love yourself and you have to figure out a way, and you have to start making you have to start making steps towards saving yourself, and you're worth it. You're definitely worth it. You are so worth it. You are so worth it. Please know that you're worth it. That's everybody. That's everything. That's even if you're not in a instance, an abusive or dangerous relationship. And by the way, men are abused too. So I'm not just speaking to women in that instance. Men do get abused. They're not. It's not like only men are abusive. And there's tons of different forms of abuse too. So no abuse is okay. And if you are being abused, it's time to start loving yourself and start finding a way to get out and get away so that you can heal and that you can truly, truly like love yourself, because you're so worth it. You're so worth it. And I love you. Anyone who's going through something like that or knows somebody who's going through something like that, I just want to send positive vibes. I don't even know why that came to me to talk about that, but I'm just sending out positive vibes and lots of love, healing vibes, protecting vibes. Yes. Love you so much. So, watching our choices that we make is super imperative. I feel like everybody has intuition, and just not everybody necessarily knows how to tap into this intuition. But it's really important that you do tap into your intuition. And you can do that by starting to just listen. Just listen. This is why meditation is super important too. Just being quiet for a little while with yourself and with source, God, the divine, whatever you want to call that, which is us all. It's important to sit in that silence, and just listen for messages and just listen for things that we're being told. And when you do get little intuitive notes, like little take a left right now or little watch out, and then you're like, oh, I see why I was supposed to watch out. Oh, I see why I was supposed to take a left. When you listen to those little things, like that person's no good, like you'll start to notice that we're given red flags. we're given we're given I guess what's the word I'm looking for? We're given like hints about who people are early on when we meet them. Excuse me. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we have a tendency to just like write that stuff off. Oh, they're really a nice person, or oh, they'll get better, or they didn't really mean it, or they're just having a bad day, or whatever, so on and so forth. We make a lot of excuses for people, for whatever reason, when we really like them, or they have us kind of under almost like a spell. Really charismatic people have a way of like putting people under a spell. But if you pay attention and you listen to your instincts and you notice, when you meet people, they will always show you little glimpses of their other side. Everybody has another side. Everybody is duality. Everybody is light and dark. We are all yin and yang. We all have that side, the sides of us that are different, where we can be happy and positive and outgoing and loving and caring. And then we have the other side of us that is very shut down or aggressive, or just sad, unhappy, angry, whatever. We all just have duality. We just have different sides to us. And most people, not all people, some people really are who, when you meet them, that's who they are. Like, I, I try to be as authentically myself as possible from the beginning. I feel like when I first meet people, though, I am a little reserved just because I'm protective of myself and I want to know who the person is to see if I'm able to be vulnerable with them. I feel like. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. Some people actually literally hide who they are, though. Uh, the the other side of them isn't pleasant. And like I said, people who are like that, who are hiding who they are and they're masquerading that with like some kind of a character, they have a costume on. Eventually, well, here's what happens is that they can only maintain that costume for so long, but little peaks of who they their other side will show. You'll see little things, little stuff that makes you uncomfortable, stuff that make you feel it. You feel it in your energy. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, there's a reason it's making you feel uncomfortable. It's your energy speaking to you. And even if you can't pinpoint exactly why you feel uncomfortable about what it is, that's your intuition. That's your intuition speaking to you, saying like something isn't right. And if you're really getting a message like that that says something isn't right, that's even more powerful intuition. And sadly, speaking from experience, a lot of times we don't listen to that. We write it off. We blow it off. Oh, no, no, no. Well, I'm telling you right now, start listening to that about people. Start paying attention to that about people. You will be grateful to yourself for that. And it will cause a lot less of the bad decisions in the human beings that you get yourself intertwined with. You know, people get in business with people and then they end up having a falling out, and this whole all the money that they put into this business, all the hard work that they've put into this business has gone down the drain because they ignored the signs in the beginning that the person that they were getting into business with probably wasn't the best person to get into business with. They had bad business ethics. They were not a hard worker. Maybe they maybe had debts, or people already talking about how they weren't they had did business with them before and had uh didn't have success, or maybe had a bunch of issues. Like, these are things that you have to pay attention to in the beginning when you notice stuff like that, because it will it will it will change how you make decisions, which will then change what kind of faults you have to take. Because if you heard that that person was a faulty business partner in other ventures, or if you noticed that they were dishonest, or if you noticed that they had problems with money, holding on to money, managing money, whatever, if you noticed these things about this person and you still made the choice and decision to get into business with them, when it comes back to bite you in the ass, whom else do you have to blame but yourself? It's your fault. There is a lot of things that are our fault that may be difficult to take responsibility for. And We move too quickly in a lot of aspects. People get a business idea or meet someone at a networking thing and want to jump into business with them right away. And I'm not talking about, you know, I'm not talking about like an individual business situation where like you jump into business with somebody and do, like for example, someone buys a flyer from me. I'm talking about when you really go, we're talking about investing large sums of money together and both names are going on a business. Like these are these are things that you should take your time on. You want to make sure that the person that you're getting into business with is going to be an honest person, the type of person that you want to deal with, type of person that you can do business with. There's so many aspects to things like that. And people do the same thing with friendships. They'll meet somebody and all of a sudden this person is their best friend, like, or they're inseparable, like, but they just met. And I'm not saying that you can't meet people and just instantly connect with them. Absolutely. But also, don't be so blind that you don't pay attention if there are warning signs. There's not every person out here is malicious. I'm not trying to tell you to be like suspicious of everyone, like, oh my god, like every person you meet has just got an ulterior motive and they're out to get you. No, that's like seriously a psychosis if you think that way. So no, that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that when there are warning signs, heed those warning signs and pay attention to them. People will become best friends with somebody overnight and they'll find that that person is very dishonest or um, is trying to go behind their back and mess with their partner, or who all kinds of crazy stuff happens with people that you just meet. And if you move too quickly with them and you just let them in your life and to know everything about you and just unload everything, you have to be a little bit reserved with giving all of your information to people um right away before you even know who they are. People do the same thing in partnership, intimate relationships. They'll meet somebody and just like dive all the way in, just boom, like, and don't barely know the person. There's a lot of people who will get married or jump into a relationship and they don't even know who they're in a relationship with. They haven't even taken time to understand this person and what makes this person happy, what makes this person sad, like what are their goals, what are they passionate about, do you even know anything about them, what's their favorite color? Like seriously, on some real shit. And when things go sour, who do both of now there's two people to blame in situations like that. When, oh, you're not who I thought you were, you're not who I thought you were, like, well, you didn't even know each other. You thought you knew somebody off of what, two interactions? Like, come on, man. You have to go through real shit with somebody before you can ever really find out who they are and how they deal with things. It's your fault if you dive in with somebody and you don't even know them. It's your fault if you give too much of yourself to somebody without even knowing who they are yet and with just it not being reciprocated. That's a boundary issue for self. So, yeah, that's that. That's that. Taking responsibility for our own actions, taking responsibility for our choices will save us a lot of a lot of heartache in the end. And just paying attention to our intuition, pay attention to warning signs about who people are. It's really like it's really important to find people who want to be honest with you and who want to really be a teammate with you. It's something that I've always had trouble with. I don't know, is when people lie to their partners or like having a partner lie to me. You know, life is what it is, and we all go through our own shit, and we all have to experience our life on our terms. So for someone to lie about what they're doing in their own life is just crazy to me. And being lied to is whack. So I don't know. That's one thing for me that I can't do that. I can't deal with that type of stuff. So if I were to just allow somebody in my life who constantly lied to me and then I get mad about how they always lie to me, I'm definitely at fault for that. And I have to make the decision to walk away from something like that. What's up, y'all? How are you guys doing out there? How's everybody feeling? Like, do a mental health check. Anybody out there feeling like they need something to be talked about? What's going on? How y'all doing? You guys are real quiet today. Normally, I have lots of comments and people talking. I don't know if you're just absorbing everything I'm saying, if I have put you to sleep or. Oh, man. Peace to y'all. I appreciate everybody who's been coming through tonight and all the shares and the hearts and the love and everything. It's good to have you all here. I feel like I kind of made my point with everything that I have said, though. I don't really know if there's anything more to be said about that other than just realizing that your choices and decisions have a direct effect on your life. And in order to see the things that you want for your life, you have to start making better choices. I speak to myself as much as I speak to anyone else that needs to make better choices in their life, because only you know if you need to make better choices in your life. I can't tell you that. Everybody who has different goals and aspirations, so whatever you want for your life, just make sure that you're making the choices that align with that. And if you're not making the choices that align with that, it's your responsibility to change that. It's your responsibility to start making choices that do align with the things that you want. Because at the end of the day, and when all is said and done, if you didn't live the life that you wanted to live and you didn't do the things that you wanted to do, it's your fault. It's your fault, man. You made the choice. You made the choice. You made the choice. I am literally the last few years of my life, I have finally started to make choices for me that make me happier. I used to spend so much of my time worried about what other people felt or how making sure that they were happy and taken care of. And I'm here. I'm here right now to tell you that you suffer a lot of misery doing that. Like, if you notice that you're like frustrated a lot in your life and you feel like you're really like wearing yourself really thin and you're exhausted, you're probably expending too much energy on other people. And it's time for you to take some of that energy back, if not all of it. Only you know. You can only determine how much energy to give to other people. because that's just, people will drain you. There are some people in this world that like feed off other people's energy, and they will just keep taking. Like there is not a point where they say, "Oh, I've had enough of this person. I'm taking enough of their energy. Let me give back or let them recharge." No, that's not what happens. You have to make those choices for yourself. You have to make those choices for yourself. Because when all is said and done, everything that we choose and all of our decisions will determine the type of life that we live. It's true. It's very true. And on that note, I'm going to peace out. I'm going to peace out early tonight, y'all. I am going to be done at 41 minutes and 1 second. I'm going to get out of here, and I will see y'all next Monday. If there is a topic that you would like me to talk about, please feel free to leave a comment, inbox me, hit me up. I would love to hear from you. If there's something that you have a question on that maybe I can address, I would love to help you with that as well. So please feel free to leave a comment or inbox me and let me know that. Otherwise, I will see y'all back here next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Peace, y'all. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And peace, love, and positive vibes for your week. Peace.